Hey everybody, Jimmy Kimmel here, or as Rana likes to call me, Jimmy. Rana called me up and said, Jimmy, you got to help me with this YouTube thing. He's doing a video about The Simpsons predicting the future. Now, I've been doing this late night thing for a while, and let me tell you, I've seen some things, but The Simpsons, man, those yellow folks are on another level. 2025 just got started, and already they're nailing it. Remember those devastating wildfires in Los Angeles? Yeah, turns out The Simpsons showed something eerily similar way back in 2016. I mean, come on, a cartoon predicting real-life wildfires? That's some freaky stuff. But hold your horses, folks, because it gets even weirder. Rana's got a whole list of these Simpsons predictions. From Donald Trump becoming president, yeah, they called that one too, to some crazy stuff about Elon Musk and something called a Neuralink device. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds like something out of a science fiction movie. So buckle up, because things are about to get Simpsonized. All right, so let's start with this whole wildfire thing. I mean, it's tragic, right? Those poor people in LA losing their homes and everything. But here's the thing, The Simpsons showed a town almost identical to the one that got hit, engulfed in flames. And it wasn't just a quick glimpse or anything, they actually had a whole storyline about it. Now, I'm not saying The Simpsons are psychic or anything, although with those yellow faces, you never know. But it's pretty wild, right? I mean, what are the odds? It's like they have a crystal ball hidden away in Homer's basement or something. And the thing is, this isn't the first time The Simpsons have pulled this kind of stunt. They've been predicting the future for years, and it's starting to freak people out. I mean, I'm a little freaked out. And I'm a grown man who talks to celebrities for a living. Okay, so remember that picture of Donald Trump, King Salman of Saudi Arabia, and the Egyptian president all huddled around this glowing orb? Yeah, that picture was everywhere. It was like the meme that wouldn't die. Well, guess what? The Simpsons did it again. They showed that exact same scene in an episode years before it actually happened. I mean, come on. How do they do it? Do they have a time machine? Are they secretly controlling world events from the writer's room? I'm starting to think anything is possible. And the best part is they didn't just show the picture. They actually had a whole episode about Trump becoming president. They even predicted some of the crazy stuff he would do in office. It's like they were writing a script for the future, and somehow it all came true. Now, this next one is where things start to get really weird. You see, back in 1998, The Simpsons aired an episode where Homer becomes an inventor, and in one scene, he's standing in front of a chalkboard scribbling down all these complicated equations. Now, I don't know about you, but I barely passed high school math, so I have no idea what any of those equations meant. But apparently, some real-life scientists took a look at them and realized that Homer had accidentally predicted the existence of the Higgs boson particle. The Higgs boson, for those of you who don't speak science, which is all of us, let's be honest, is a fundamental particle that gives other particles mass. It's like the glue that holds the universe together. And Homer Simpson, the guy who eats donuts for breakfast, lunch and dinner, somehow predicted it. Okay, so this one is a little less earth-shattering than the Higgs boson prediction, but still pretty impressive. In 1995, The Simpsons aired an episode where Lisa visits London, and in one scene you can see a building that looks a lot like the Shard, which is a skyscraper in London that wasn't built until 2012. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jimmy, it's just a building, it's not that big of a deal. And you're right, it's not like predicting the end of the world or anything, but it's still pretty cool that The Simpsons were able to capture the look of a building that didn't even exist yet. It's like they have a direct line to the future. And they're just dropping little hints here and there to see if we're paying attention. Well, I'm paying attention, Simpsons. I'm watching you. All right, so this one is a little more on the nose, but still pretty impressive. In a few episodes of The Simpsons, you can see the 20th Century Fox logo, which is normal, right? It's their production company. But if you look closely at the logo, you'll see that it says a division of Walt Disney Company. Now, this is interesting because Disney didn't buy 20th Century Fox until 2019. So how did The Simpsons know about the merger years before it happened? Did they have some inside information? Were they in on the deal? I'm starting to think that The Simpsons are more powerful than we realize. They're like the Illuminati of animated sitcoms. They know everything. They control everything. Okay, so this one is a little further out in the future, but still worth mentioning. In the year 2000, The Simpsons aired an episode called Bart to the Future, where Lisa becomes the first female president of the United States. Now, at the time, this seemed like a pretty far-fetched idea. But in recent years, it's become increasingly likely that we'll see a female president in our lifetime. And who knows, maybe Lisa Simpson will be the one to break that glass ceiling. She's smart, she's compassionate, and she's got a killer saxophone solo. What more could you ask for in a president? Okay, so this one is a little more out there, but bear with me. In the same episode where Lisa visits London, you can see Big Ben with a digital clock instead of an analog clock. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jimmy, Big Ben is a national treasure. They would never replace the analog clock with a digital clock. And you're probably right, but it's still fun to think about. I mean, can you imagine the uproar if they actually did that? People would be losing their minds. It would be like replacing the Queen's Guard with robots or something. Okay, so this one is a little similar to the Lisa Simpson prediction, but it's worth mentioning again because it's such a big deal. The Simpsons have predicted that the United States will have a female president. Now, they haven't given us a specific date or anything, but it's clear that they believe it's going to happen. And I, for one, am here for it. It's about time we had a woman in charge. I mean, let's be honest, men have had their chance and they've kind of messed things up. Maybe it's time to let a woman take the wheel and steer us in the right direction. Okay, so this one is a little creepy, but also kind of cool. In an episode called The Fool Monty, Mr. Burns creates a mind control device that he uses to control the citizens of Springfield. Now, this might seem like a far-fetched idea, but in real life, Elon Musk is working on a similar device called Neuralink. Neuralink is a brain-computer interface that aims to connect the human brain to computers. The goal of Neuralink is to help people with paralysis and other disabilities, but some people worry that it could be used for more nefarious purposes, like mind control. And if The Simpsons have taught us anything, it's that we should never underestimate the potential for technology to be used for evil. Okay, so this last one is a little more recent, but still pretty impressive. In a 2020 episode of The Simpsons, Professor Frink creates his own cryptocurrency called Frinkcoin. Now, at the time, cryptocurrency was still a relatively niche market. But in the past few years, it's exploded in popularity, with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies becoming household names. So, once again, The Simpsons were ahead of the curve, predicting the rise of cryptocurrency years before it became mainstream. I'm starting to think that those writers are time travelers or something. So there you have it, folks. 10 times The Simpsons predicted the future. Coincidence? I think not. I'm telling you, those yellow folks are up to something. They've got their fingers on the pulse of the universe, and they're using their powers to entertain and terrify us in equal measure. I'm not sure what the future holds, but I know one thing. I'll be watching The Simpsons closely, because if anyone knows what's going to happen next, it's Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie. Thanks for having me, Rana. And remember, folks, if you see a glowing orb, don't touch it. It might be a Simpsons prediction in the making.